Definitely been a while since I filmed my first Barely 30 Diaries vlog, and actually last week I filmed another vlog which I meant to make my Barely 30 Diaries vlog, but with how that video turned out I really just did not feel comfortable calling it a Barely 30 Diaries vlog. These vlogs are really meant for people to get to know me better and showing what life is like as a person in their 30s, and I feel like that last video really did not embody that, so I am filming another vlog today, and hopefully in this vlog I'll be able to give off the vibes that I'm trying to go for in a Barely 30 Diaries vlog. Today I really just wanted to make this like a catch-up video or like a get to know me video because there are a lot of new people to my channel, and I've actually never filmed a vlog like this where I just basically just talk about myself. So I feel like that will be a good thing for all of my old subscribers and new subscribers and anybody that comes here that has never seen my videos before. So welcome to the vlog. This will be a chatty one since I will be talking about myself, and also I will be giving some life updates, so you can expect to see that in this vlog. Today I feel like this is kind of one of those days where I really need to get my stuff together. The apartment is an absolute mess. I still have the Christmas decorations up, so I need to put those away. I don't know if I will be able to get to everything that I want to do today because it's kind of a lot, but I'm gonna do as much as I can today, and then anything that I don't get done today I will get done over the weekend. I do want to get a few things done before we chat a little more, so I'm gonna do that, and I will leave it up to the time lapse to show everything to you. So now that that's done, I feel like now is a perfect opportunity for me to chat with you and tell you a little bit about myself. For anyone who's new, I feel like it goes without saying that my name is Janelle and I'm 30 years old. I'm Filipino. My parents immigrated from the Philippines back in the 80s, early 90s, late 80s, early 90s. But I was born here in America. I grew up here. I've lived here my entire life. Growing up, I lived in a bunch of different places. I was born in New Jersey, and then we moved to Texas, and then we moved to Florida, and then we moved to California, and that's where we basically settled. And when we moved to California, originally we lived in NorCal. We lived in San Bruno, which is right where the airport is, and that's where I basically spent my entire high school and where I was recruited out of for the military. My parents are still together and I only have one brother. My brother and I are actually super close. We're 2.5 years apart in age, but we're pretty much like twins. We like a lot of the same things and we're like basically best friends. So yeah, I would consider us like twins. Oh, and also he's my younger brother. So he's 2.5 years younger than I am. Although it doesn't really seem like that. He's a lot larger than I am and he has a lot of different life experience than I do, so I feel like he always has advice for me. Anyways, like I said, I was recruited into the military. I was in the US Navy for 6 years, and I joined the military because I wanted to be independent. I wanted to travel the world, and I also wanted money for college. While I was in the military, I was a fire controlman, which often gets confused with a fireman. I know the word fire makes you think of like a firefighter, but that's not what we did in the Navy. I specifically worked on a system that integrated the radars and weapons systems of the ship. It like combined those interfaces and like displayed it on consoles for people to operate them through. So that's what I did. I was basically like a technician, and I would often troubleshoot or respond to any issues that the system would have. Even though that was the only system that I technically like went to school for, I did know more about some of the missile systems and the radars on the ship, at least on the particular ships that I went on. And I guess it's important to note that I was on the USS America. I commissioned that ship. Commissioning basically means that it was like a brand new ship and we were the first crew on the ship. And actually while I was on this ship, we did a sail around South America because our ship was being built in Mississippi and it was being commissioned, like we had a ceremony for it in San Francisco, but we didn't fit through the Panama Canal, so we actually had to sail all the way around South America. But we visited a bunch of countries. We visited Colombia. We stopped at Cuba, but I was on duty, so I had to stay on the ship. We also went to Brazil, Chile, and Peru, and I think that was it. So yeah, I visited a lot of countries, even just on my first ship. And then shortly after that, I went to my second ship, which was the USS Somerset, and that's where I did my actual deployment. So like we actually had like a mission on that deployment. Sail around was kind of like, we're just traveling around, we're just trying to get to where we're going, we don't have anything else going on. But during my deployment, that's when like we did actual like more stuff. And while we were on that deployment, we only got to visit a few more countries because we were so busy with all the stuff that was going on. But we did visit Hawaii, which I had never been to before we went on this deployment. We visited Guam, Singapore, and Oman, which is a country that I feel like not many people have heard of. I definitely didn't know about this country until we actually visited it, so I'm assuming a bunch of people have never heard of the country Oman. I definitely have like a ton of stories from the military, and I will definitely talk somebody's head off about it. But yeah, that is pretty much what I did in the military, like in general. After the military, I went to school, and I was basically in school from about the beginning of 2018 all the way up until this past August. So it did take me a while to finish school, but thankfully I had it all paid for because I was in the military and all that. And I just recently graduated with a bachelor's degree in computer science. I'm currently looking for a job right now in software engineering, but the job market is really bad right now. I've heard that it might improve this year in 2024, but I really have no idea how people know that it's going to improve until it actually improves. So yeah, right now I'm kind of like trying to apply for jobs that are not software engineering jobs, which kind of sucks, but honestly at this point I'm trying to work anywhere that is kind of related to my field so that I can support myself. So that kind of brings us to now, and right now I live with my partner and our 2 cats, which is something that I say pretty often on this channel. And I've had my cats for a really long time now. So my first cat, her name is Luna. I got her when she was a kitten, and she's almost 9 years old now. So she's basically been with me her entire life. And then I think like a year or a year and a half after that was when I got Atlas, but he's actually older than her. So I think he's about 2 years older than her, because I got him when he was already an adult in the shelter. And yeah, I love them both so much. They are basically my children. And I'm so lucky to have these cats. Like, they're genuinely the sweetest cats. Like I said, I have a partner. His name is Alex. He's actually from Brazil, so he immigrated here about 6 years ago, I think. And yeah, English is his second language, but he speaks English so well that we don't really have that many communication issues. Now that he's in a relationship with an American person, he constantly hears words that he's never heard before, which I think is pretty hilarious. I do have a list, but I haven't updated it in a while, of the words that he's never heard before. Words or phrases, I would say. Let me name off some of them because I think they're really funny. He didn't know what veneers were. He didn't know the word dainty. With gusto, he didn't know that. Mile High Club. That was really fun to explain to him. Lopsided. What's another funny one? Oh yeah, he didn't know World Star, and I had to ask my brother to explain that to him because my brother knows more about that stuff than I do. Anyways, we met on Hinge a couple years ago, and we officially started dating on January 24th, 2022. So it'll be 2 years on the 24th of this month. He and I have been inseparable ever since, and it really does not feel like 2 years. It feels like a lot longer than that. I feel like because we have such a strong bond, it just feels like we've known each other for a really long time instead of it just being 2 years, because every time I see that we've been together for 2 years, it really does not feel that way. But anyways, I guess to end off this whole like get to know me part is to talk a little bit about my current hobbies. Right now, obviously, you're watching my YouTube channel. YouTube is one of my biggest hobbies. I've had this channel for less than a year. It'll be a year in like a few months. But I did have another YouTube channel, which was a booktube channel. So I only talked about books on that channel, and I had that other channel for 2 years until I gave up on it. Which leads me into my next hobby, which is books. So I personally will like to read any and every book that is good. I've read classics, I've read fiction, I've read literary fiction, I've read a good variety of books. But I would say that right now I'm like on a huge fantasy kick. I think last year was when I started reading fantasy again, and I just got super into it, and ever since then it's been really hard for me to get into any other kind of book. But occasionally I will read a different genre of book every once in a while. One of my favorite books actually is Jane Eyre, but recently, I've really been into the ACOTAR series, A Court of Thorns and Roses. The last big hobby that I would say that I have is cars. I really love seeing how people will build their cars. So basically like what they do to modify it with either the performance modifications or the aesthetic modifications, like how it looks and all that stuff. I really can appreciate any kind of build as long as it's good. But more specifically, I would say that I know a lot about Mercedes-Benz. I used to be in a Mercedes-Benz club, and I've owned 2 Mercedes. I used to own a C350, W204 C350, and then after that I owned a W210 E300, which actually was a diesel. That was fun, but I currently don't have a car right now, which kind of sucks, but I'm saving up my money for something really good. I actually have decided what car I want now, and it's gonna be a surprise, so stay tuned for that. I'm probably gonna get it shortly after I finally get a job. I feel like those are my 3 core hobbies. Who knows what other hobbies I'll get into in the future, but those are basically the 3 hobbies that I'm pretty much sticking to, and I feel like that make up my entire personality. But yeah, that's basically me in a nutshell. There's so many things that I literally have yet to mention, but maybe throughout this vlog I'll sprinkle in some more little fun facts about myself. And I guess later on I still do have to give a little bit of a life update, but for now I'm gonna relax and take it easy for the rest of the day since I worked so hard to clean up my apartment. Good, baby.
For your breakfast, take them all. Yeah. You want this? You can have that. I know you like this.
But yeah.
I do?
Yeah, Madeline, you could remember?
No, I should stop kicking. Oh.
Go! Go!
Oh,
thank you!
No, I like that floor.
Oh, you did?
Let's see.
What is this?
What is that?
Okay. I'm grabbing random box. Random box. Yeah.
Oh!
Dude, why did you put like
nice
a...
wrapping.
There we go. Dude, it says Bustos.
Cute.
I love Tamagotchi.
Look, it's got like little.
It's like a little game.
It's a
Wrapped so cutely.
Thank you.
That's a little game.
Bustos.
And you take care of a little.
Whoa! Oh, so cute! You know, I've never actually played Yahtzee before.
Ooh,
Calvin
Calvin
Klein.
Klein.
That is so sick. I still can't believe we get to do this.
Yeah, right by the trash can.
I know.
All the way home with 2 cats here in the city.
Yeah.
We're hiding it from your parents.
They never knew.
Up until the point we got rid of the cat, they never knew. Tell them about how I showed you.
You just brought me to your room and you're like, Janelle, come see this. And then you like opened the closet and there was a kitten in there.
Yeah, in a little blanket or something.
Yeah, it could fit in the palm of your hand. That's how small it
I
was.
had 2 of them like this in my hoodie.
Thank you. The story about the,
Dude, was that a gunshot? It sounded like one.
I thought it was.
Y'all heard that too? You heard that? That sounded like a gunshot, right?
Happy Monday, everyone. It's the 15th of January and I finally put the Christmas tree away, although I don't have enough room in the storage box that I have to put away the rest of the stuff. So I'm gonna have to buy a new like storage box, or no, I need to get a new storage box. So we need to get that before I put away the rest of the Christmas stuff. But I'm glad that I finally got started on putting away some of the Christmas stuff, at least the tree, because that's probably like the biggest thing that I needed to put away. So anyway, yesterday I did not film anything because I kind of wanted to take it easy. Usually on Sundays I don't really like to do very much things. It's like more of a recovery day for me from the few days that just passed, because usually we do like a bunch of stuff on Saturdays and then on Sundays we just like either clean or just like not do anything for the rest of the day. By the way, I'm making myself a cup of this everyday dose coffee. It's like a mushroom coffee. But anyways, yeah, yesterday we didn't really do much. I think we ran a couple of errands and we also played a lot of RuneScape. Alex and I and my brother are super into RuneScape right now. It's kind of like a childhood video game that my brother and I used to play, and Alex actually never played RuneScape before, so we kind of got him into it, and now I would say he's kind of obsessed because we literally played that all day yesterday. And because I just want to play RuneScape all day right now, I can't really justify playing RuneScape without having done a few things. Like, I want to be able to justify sitting down for like a few hours and playing video games, you know? So Today I really want to edit some of this video because it does come out on Wednesday, I think. I can't remember what day this video comes out, but it comes out soon. Like, I just feel better playing RuneScape if I feel a little bit accomplished on my day. I feel like this is like a really bad angle, but I'm making my coffee right now. I'm just like mixing it, and the little frothing thing that it came with broke, so I have to mix it with either the straw of this cup or like a spoon. So yeah, that's kind of annoying, and it doesn't mix very well, but yeah, gotta do what you gotta do. And then usually I'll add some ice to this and then some creamer, and that's pretty much like what I drink almost every single day. Actually, lately I haven't been playing that many video games, and I was actually thinking like a few days before we started getting into RuneScape, or like maybe last week, that I feel like my stress and like the deterioration of my mental health is due to me not playing enough video games. Because I know that when I was playing Legend of Zelda, I feel like I was so happy like during those times, and when I stopped playing Legend of Zelda or playing any type of video game, to be honest, I don't know, I felt like I wasn't as happy as I could have been if I was like currently in the process of like working towards something in a video game. Not just like mindlessly playing video games, but like working towards something. Like, I know there's a lot of stuff that you can do in Legend of Zelda, like doing the story, obviously that's like the biggest thing. I just realized this is not very relevant to the vlog, but I felt like it was worth mentioning because that's pretty much what's going on in my life right now. Let's actually move somewhere else because I feel like this is a really horrible angle. Since I just talked about video games and like kind of what's going on currently, I feel like it's worth giving a life update. So as you all know, I have been looking for a job lately. Unfortunately, I feel like the job market for software engineering is actually getting worse. I know I said that I feel like it might be getting better, but I kind of feel like it's actually going to get worse because they did do like a bunch of layoffs at Discord. I just heard about that. I heard about a bunch of layoffs at Google, although I don't know how true that is, but I did hear about it. And usually I feel like these tech giants, whenever like one of them has like a mass layoff or mass hiring, because it kind of goes both ways, I feel like most of them will kind of follow the same type of behavior. And I really hope that I'm wrong. I hope that I'm wrong, but I just really don't feel like the job market is getting any better. So what I've kind of been relying on lately is like word of mouth or like networking. Just trying to like put my name out there and see if anybody is hiring and see if anyone could give me a referral. And I really have no idea how this is gonna turn out, but I feel like no matter where I work, I'm gonna be a valuable person to the team. I've said this before, but I'm like a super hard worker, and whatever it is that I get stuck on, I always just end up figuring it out anyway. So whatever job I get, I'm gonna learn it very fast. Like, I just feel like I'm gonna learn it. Even if I don't learn it fast, I'm gonna figure it out, you know? And the reason why I say that is because I don't think that I will be getting a software engineering job, and I might get a completely different job, or even like a job that's kind of related but not exactly what I learned in school. So whatever that is, I'm gonna have to learn how to do that job, and maybe I won't be 100% qualified to do that job, but I don't care. I literally don't care. I just want to do something. I want to work hard towards something. I want to start my career somewhere, and I want people to recognize how hardworking I can be in a job. So anyway, that is the preface of this kind of update that I'm giving, and the update is that I did get an interview. I did my interview right before I started this vlog, and I was kind of reluctant to say that I got an interview because there's a chance that I might not get the job. There's always that chance, but I just wanted to be transparent with you all. I've been kind of stressed out about this job interview because I really do want this job. I think it's in a field that I would really love to work in. How the interview went, I'm not like 100% happy with it, but I do feel like I connected with the people that were interviewing me. Like, I could just like chat them up and stuff, and that was cool. But at the same time, I'm not like 100% knowledgeable in this particular job because it's not like a software engineering job. I've been really stressed out about that, and they told me that it would take like maybe 2 to 3 weeks for me to get a call back from them about the job because they still want to interview more people. So I'm just really hoping that they like me as a person, and maybe I don't fit the technical qualifications for this job, but I just think that I'll do a really good job in here. I talked to my best friend Caroline about it, and she said that they might end up hiring you because like people can always teach you technical stuff, but they can't teach you a personality. So I'm really hoping, just like based off of that, that they like me as a person and they can tell that I'm like genuinely a hard worker and stuff. And I also told them about my YouTube channel, so they might end up finding this channel, but hopefully they can see from my channel that I do try to work hard and that at least I'm consistent with my YouTube channel, you know? So that's a big life update right now. And I also wanted to say that if I do end up getting a job, that might affect the YouTube channel. I did manage to have a YouTube channel at the same time that I was in school for like a couple years, and that was extremely hard for me. So I think that I would be able to continue to have my YouTube channel at the same time as having a job, because I don't have to worry about homework or any of that stuff. But I still want to be transparent with you because I just feel like it will affect the amount of time that I can put into these videos. So yeah, currently I don't really have like a set schedule. I've been trying to post every Wednesday, but it's been kind of hard for me, especially with like stressing out about this job that I really want to have. But I've just been trying to post at least weekly, no set day. I'm trying to figure out how I can balance having a YouTube channel and doing other things in my life and still enjoying my life at the same time. So if the schedule seems kind of erratic, that's why. Anyways, those are the big life updates that are happening right now. I'm gonna try and edit this video so that I can enjoy the rest of my day and play RuneScape, and I will probably see you all later. Happy Tuesday. I kind of had like a potato day yesterday. I really did not want to do anything. I think it's because I woke up on the wrong side of the bed or something. Like I woke up super cranky, and so I didn't want to film yesterday. But today I'm determined to be productive, so I'm gonna try and edit this video, and I think I'm gonna call it a day on this vlog. And I also kind of curled my hair with the shark flex style, which I got for Christmas. I think my hair's a little bit too long and heavy, so it doesn't hold the curls very well even when I use hairspray. Because if you notice here, my bangs hold the curl pretty well because they're not that heavy, but my longer hair, it basically becomes straight. I definitely need a haircut before I can really give this flex style a review, but for now I really love what it does to my bangs. Anyway, I wrote kind of a list of fun facts about myself in case anybody wanted to know a little bit more about me, because I kind of did like go over my entire life story, but I didn't talk about all the weird little quirks that I have, because I feel like I have a lot, and I feel like I've done so many hobbies. None of them are like super related to what I currently do in my life, or I guess they kind of do because like these videos are kind of about my life. But anyway, they just don't come up normally in conversation, so I felt like it would be a cool thing for me to just list out a few fun facts about myself. Anyway, the first thing that I wrote on here is my favorite books, because I did mention that I really love Jane Eyre and I really love the ACOTAR series. I'm currently reading A Court of Silver Flame, so I'm not 100% done with this series, but I feel like the first 3 books is like a trilogy, and then after that it's kind of like spin-off books. I really love those, but I feel like a lot of people like those books, so I thought I would list off a couple more favorite books of mine, because I feel like it says a lot about a person, like what their favorite books are. So another one of my favorite books is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I forgot who the author is. I feel like I should remember. I think it's V.E. Schwab. Yeah. The only other book that I've read by V.E. Schwab is Gallant, which recently came out, and I wasn't a huge fan of that book, and I've heard that V.E. Schwab's books are kind of like hit or miss, but I really love The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I think the themes in that book are so good, and I just related a lot to that book. Next book that I really love is Pride and Prejudice, and funnily enough, the first time that I read this book, I was like, okay, yeah, whatever. But then the second time that I read it, I was like, I am eating this up. If you read some of these classic books, especially the Jane Austen ones, like as if it's like reality TV or something, if you just like imagine it that way, I feel like it's more fun to read them that way. And that's how I read Pride and Prejudice the second time, and it's really like super game changer. Next favorite book is actually a series. It's the Heartstopper series. It's a graphic novel series by Alice Oseman. I am obsessed with this series. I just recently reread the first 4, and I think I'm gonna read the 5th one soon because that one just came out in December. So I'm really excited to read that, and I'm just super obsessed with their love story, and I think that it's so cute and romantic. I don't know how else to explain it. It's just really cute. Next book that I like is also a series, and it's the Cruel Prince series. I'm like super into series for some reason. My cats are fighting again. Oh no! Oh no, oh no. Luna's claw just got caught in Atlas's collar, so I got kind of scared. Anyways, yeah, I really love series. I think it's because like you just really get to know the characters, and you have plenty of time and plenty of pages to be able to get to know them. And you also get to learn a lot about the universe that the story is set in. So yeah, I think that's why I really like series. I just really love getting to know the characters and getting to know the world. Like I just want to know so much about everything. So yeah, The Cruel Prince, I think that one's really good, especially since it's like a YA novel that doesn't really focus so much on the romance of the book. I know it's titled The Cruel Prince, but it's kind of misleading. It's more like a political book. It's like about her rise to power, I guess, in the fairy world. It is a little bit of like a smaller scale than ACOTAR. I feel like this world that they are in, it just feels a lot smaller to me than ACOTAR. But I would say that the story itself is really good, especially for a YA novel. And then the last book that I really love is Crying in H Mart, and this is actually a memoir. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of it, but basically it's about the author Michelle Zauner, and she's the lead singer, I think, of Japanese Breakfast. It's about her relationship with her Korean mom, and also like growing up as a Korean American woman, not really fitting in on either side of her self-identity or whatever. And I definitely related to this as a child of immigrants. Both of my parents are from the Philippines, and while they're not Korean or anything like that, I felt like I related to this so much. And I feel like anyone who is a child of immigrants or is like half something, you know, mixed person, I feel like you'll relate a lot to this, like just not being able to fit into either side of your identity. Anyway, so those are my favorite books. I feel like anytime I talk about books, I get super into it, and yeah, like it's just a huge part of my life at this point, and I don't think that it's ever gonna change. I hope not. Next fun fact about myself, I really love K-pop. I've never actually talked about this on this channel, but I'm super obsessed with Twice. I got super into Twice like a couple of years ago when I first listened to, I think it was The Feels, and then I just discovered them and started listening to all of their music and watching their music videos, and I just became obsessed. I think every single person in Twice is gorgeous, and I think they're hilarious, and yeah, I love them. I also love New Jeans. I think they are all super cute, and I love their music. I wouldn't like them just based off of the way that they look. I love their music as well. Like I listen to every single one of their songs, and they're all super good. And actually Alex and I listened to New Jeans so much in the car that he actually got into like the 0.5% of listeners of New Jeans, which I think is so crazy. But yeah, we listen to New Jeans so much. We just love their music, and I think all of them are super cute. Next fun fact about me is that I also love anime. I wouldn't say that I watch as much as some other people do, but I do watch all of the popular animes, because literally all of my favorite ones is like the popular ones, which understandably they're like super good. But I really love Attack on Titan. I love Hunter x Hunter, which I feel like is one of the lesser known ones compared to the rest of these. It is a well-known anime, but like compared to the rest of these, it's like lesser known. I love Jujutsu Kaisen, and I love Demon Slayer. Like all 4 of those I'm obsessed with. I will say though that if you're trying to get into some of these, like give it some time. Don't give up on like the first season, because honestly it gets really good in like the second or even third seasons, and after that you're like obsessed with them. So yeah, give them a chance. Don't knock those animes, like they're so good. Next fun fact about me, English is actually my second language. I think I did mention this like as an aside in my Philippines vlog if you've ever watched that video, but yeah, English is my second language. My first language was Kapampangan, which is a language that we spoke at home. It's a Filipino language. And I also want to say too, it is a completely separate language from Tagalog, because a person that speaks Tagalog is not gonna understand somebody who speaks Kapampangan. It seems like they might be the same language and just like dialects of each other because it's all from the same country, but yeah, it's different languages. Anyway, I don't really speak it that much anymore, but I do understand it pretty much completely. And it's kind of why I still kind of stumble around with English sometimes, especially when I'm talking on the camera. I mean, you don't see it, but I do stumble a lot with my words. It could be partially due to my ADHD as well, but yeah, I stumble a lot with my words. And it's kind of why I have to talk pretty slowly at times. I also understand a bunch of Tagalog. I don't know it completely. There's still a lot of stuff that I just don't understand, but I know like pretty much the basics of it. If somebody would like say random stuff to me, yeah, but like any like type of deeper conversation would be really hard for me to understand. I don't actually know why I know Tagalog. I think it's because my mom watched a lot of soap operas, Filipino soap operas and Filipino TV shows when I was young, and so that's probably why I know a lot of Tagalog, but I really have no idea. Nobody really spoke it at home. We pretty much just spoke Kapampangan at home, but yeah. I also know French on a conversational level, but I'm not super confident in it. I don't really have anyone to talk to in French, so I don't really practice it that often, but every once in a while I'll probably watch like a YouTube video in French and I will understand what they're saying for the most part. But yeah, I do know a little bit of French. But as an English speaker, I feel like French is pretty easy because a lot of the vocabulary is like really similar, or it's like the same. Since English took a lot of vocabulary from French, that's just how it goes. But yeah, and also I feel like French will help me when I'm learning Portuguese. So keep that in mind whenever I make any videos about learning Portuguese. Like, I already know French, so it might be easier for me with the vocabulary and the grammar and all that stuff. Next fun fact about myself, my brother and I actually have the same favorite color. Our favorite color is actually green, and I feel like I like most shades of green. I'm not like a neon green kind of person, but I would say I love like matcha green. I like emerald green. Emerald green's a big one, although I'm leaning more towards matcha green at this point. Anytime I see something matcha green, I'm like drawn towards it, and I feel like my brother is the same. I think he really likes matcha green as well. And also, I didn't mention this earlier, but sometimes my brother and I will have twin telepathy moments, which is why at times we will consider ourselves as twins, because we will have moments where like I will be thinking about him, like, oh, I haven't heard from Gabe in a while, and then he'll like all of a sudden he'll message me. Sometimes we'll even have conversations with each other where we won't actually like say that much, but we understand what we're talking about. I think that's just a product of growing up together like super close and being the only two children in the family. But yeah, we have kind of these moments like all the time. Next fun fact about me is I love art and going to art museums. My favorite art movement, I guess, is Baroque, but I personally appreciate any kind of art. I would even consider like stuff like TikToks as like an art form. Like sometimes I'll watch a TikTok and I'll be like, damn, this is art. Like the person that made this really put in the time and effort to make this into an art piece, and it's so beautiful. Honestly, anything that I can tell that somebody put in the time and effort to make it, even like the goofy, obscure, weird, uncomfortable types of art, I really love that kind of stuff. Last fun fact that I wrote down about myself is that I am both lactose intolerant and alcohol intolerant. It has become kind of a big problem in recent years that I cannot eat or drink any type of lactose products or dairy. And same thing goes for alcohol. Like, I'm just pretty much avoiding it at this point. I don't know why it hasn't become an issue until like recently, but yeah, I cannot have any of that stuff. So if you were wondering why I don't drink any type of alcohol, or like why it's pretty rare for me to drink alcohol, that is why. I literally cannot handle it. And I just learned that people who have an alcohol intolerance are more likely to get esophageal cancer, which I really don't want to get. Like, I want to avoid that as much as possible, so I'm avoiding alcohol. I got all of those Asian genes, unfortunately, but yeah, gotta live with it. So yeah, those are the fun facts that I wrote down. I couldn't really think of any more, but that basically sums up my life, and I hope that you know a little bit more about me. Yeah, I feel like I've been pretty much playing a lot of RuneScape in this vlog, and yeah, I have been a little bit productive during these days that I've been filming, but I just feel like I'm like on my RuneScape grind again, which kind of sucks, but at the same time, I'm feeling really happy that I'm getting back into gaming. I feel like it's a really great way for me to decompress and just relax at the end of the day. And yeah, I'm not as productive as I was before, but I'm definitely a lot happier. Reading also does help me to de-stress, but I would say that reading at the same time as video games, like, perfect combo, and I feel like I can definitely do that while I'm playing RuneScape. So yeah, anyways, that is it for this video. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you related a little bit to it, even though I pretty much talked about myself. If you wanted to know anything more about me and my life, you can definitely ask me in a comment down below, and also let me know if you like to see chatty videos like this where I pretty much like take you through my day-to-day life. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that notification bell because I don't have a schedule right now. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.